Hello and welcome to DCP Live episode number 232. We've all announced that we're going to go main Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone officially, and this podcast is changing over to the Call of Duty podcast.
COD
We're switching the D and the C.
The COD community podcast.
There's got to be a way to make this WAP somehow. The
Okay.
Warzone aggressive podcast.
Warzone aggression.
How about we
podcast.
just do it once a year and we call it the Warzone annual podcast?
Oh, the WAP. I love it.
Hey, low effort on our part, and we nailed the euphemism.
We are now the WAP podcast.
Oh, I just realized people listening on Podbean are going to hear it like after April 1st.
Oh.
So, well, in that case, we're serious. We're dead serious.
Can I just tell you, there's so much hate out there for April 1st on the internet because people are sick of all the jokes and everything. I like the jokes. I think it's funny. Like, am I the only person who thinks these dumb fucking jokes are actually funny?
I saw the Elden Ring announcement and I was like, are you kidding me? And then I don't know what happened. I forgot it was April 1st and it was like FromSoft. I'm like, FromSoft doesn't do these silly BS jokes about April 1st. Yes, they do.
It's true. A fake Twitter account who pretends to be Squaresoft does.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't even actually FromSoft, right?
It was like an account that was made
US.
today or something.
It said FromSoft US. And I was like, well, that's got to be legit. No, it's not.
That's genius to be able to get enough traction on your day one Twitter account.
Yeah.
That just shows you how excited people are for Elden Ring and how they're like, oh my God, they don't even need to read the full thing. Because if you read the full thing, it's clearly a joke.
Yeah.
But if you read the first part, you're like, oh God, and then you just retweet it or something.
Yeah. Actually, Dark Souls Pop sounds actually like I would play that on the mobile phone.
Dark Souls.
Like, I would definitely download that game and check it out. I'm just saying.
Dark Souls Pop. Maybe
Dark Souls
make
Pop.
a Dark Souls rhythm game. Imagine how hard it would be. Dear Lord.
Oh my
That'd be a
God.
workout.
Yeah. There has to be some sort of cost of blood, though, if you fail. Yeah.
Oh, real blood.
What was that really hard?
Blood.
What was that really hard rock band song? Was it something in Cambria? I can't remember. It was really fucking difficult, though. I don't know. Sorry, digression.
I have no idea.
Didn't go anywhere. April Fools! You thought I had a joke. Didn't.
Thought my train of thought was on point,
April
huh?
Fools,
Well,
you
April
thought
Fools.
you thought my memory didn't suck and I knew what I was talking about. Nope.
Nope.
Hey, speaking of April Fools, Outriders came out on April Fools. Which is a little strange, you know? I mean, I know it's a Thursday and games like to release on Thursdays, but it's like, you got to be, any game company has to be a little like scared to release on like an April 1st type of thing, right?
Yeah, because everyone was like, really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
April 1st? This is real. I don't know. Yeah.
The servers aren't holding up too well, though, you said, Watts.
Yeah, they've had a bit of trouble today. Basically, after PC also got online, things kind of took a bit of a dump.
Seems like PC
that.
in general has been having problems with that game.
It has been, yeah. There's been a couple issues that people have been having, stuttering and stuff seems to be most of it.
That sucks. That's where I want to play it.
Bummer. Well, it plays pretty good on PS5. And
Plays amazingly.
Yeah. I had very little hiccups with it. I got early access yesterday, so I played like a good, 7 hours or so, something like that. And overall, pretty good in terms of performance. There's a few audio hiccups and all that. In the game, it doesn't have like a ton of polish in a lot of areas. But if you're into that Diablo loot type of, third-person shooter type of thing, like it's pretty good.
It's very good.
Yeah. Scratches a good itch. So between that and Monster Hunter, there's a lot.
Yeah. Kind of like a bit of a Christmas, like in the middle of spring here.
Which never happens. This is normally a quiet period. I'm normally easy breezying right now. Not easy breezy.
Usually, isn't there always like a bunch of game releases that come? Because isn't this the the end of the corporate year for a lot of companies? So they just have to get these games out.
Yeah. End of the quarter type of thing. They're trying to make their... I guess you're right. They're trying to
I feel like March is usually pretty busy for game releases.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's April now, okay? So what's the excuse now?
Then. I ain't got none.
Briar, your favorite holiday is around the corner.
What's that?
Easter.
Why is Easter my favorite holiday?
Because you're a bunny.
You're a rabbit, dude. Come on. And you wonder why you're the first to get eaten after the plane crashes.
You wonder why you're getting called out for being a fake bunny, Briar.
Hey, I have deep relations with the bunny community.
Deep rabbit connections.
Yeah. I'm getting my 5G installed on Sunday.
In your brain?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my nanobots.
Oh, you getting the big shot?
I'm getting it.
Congratulations.
I'm gonna go around coughing on everybody, but don't worry, I got a vaccine.
That's after you get the second shot and you wait 2 weeks, obviously, right?
That's how it works, right?
Oh man. Well, there is some Destiny news that we should definitely talk about because it's a Destiny podcast.
Weird.
Guys.
We were kind of just going to dick around because it's April, but we do that every day. So maybe being serious is actually the April Fools.
Yeah.
Yeah, from here on out, super hardcore dedicated. Actually, we're going to get into a long, lengthy discussion about cones and accuracy, bullet accuracy.
I do like cones.
So, buckle up.
We're going to bring on the guys for firing range. Get
We'll
real serious about this. Well, one year we did do an April Fool's show. We just did like about food and like cooking and stuff.
True.
That might have been Planet Destiny.
Was that just an April thing though? April Fool's episode?
I think it was April Fool's.
I have no idea.
You don't think it was just a regular episode?
I barely remember what we did last week.
Yeah, I was probably drunk anyway.
Yeah.
Switching cast with firing range this week. That would have been funny.
Oh, that would have been
great. That would have been good.
Our show would have, the firing range would have suffered for it though. I think this show would have been fine, but the people who watch firing range would have been severely disappointed.
Yeah, people who watch DCP would have been, damn, this show is very informative this week.
Fire range.
Watching Fire Range and be like, why are they talking about opening doorknobs with assholes?
Why wouldn't you? The real question, right? Efficiency. Should we get into the TWAB?
Yeah, what happened? Bungie went and made some news on April 1st. It's very dangerous. I assume everything they say in here is complete and utter bullshit, right?
That's fair assumption on April 1st, right?
Gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do. You do. So until like anything in this comes to fruition, I'm gonna assume that it's all lies.
Yeah. It's on the chopping block because it's April 1st.
Yeah.
So what did they talk about this week in the TWAB?
No, Brian, you tell me.
I didn't bring my iPad this time to pull it up.
All right, I have a confession.
All right,
guys, I'm actually illiterate. I cannot read.
Really? You made it this far without being able to read?
I made it this far. All the Twitter questions, I just made up.
You know what? This checks out.
That does kind of make sense.
Yeah. It's finally making sense. I'm like, of course. That's why.
So the whole eating Briar thing came from a question you made up.
Yeah, so you're actually the reason. You're at fault for everyone wanting to have a delicious snack.
Yeah. I would love to find out who actually asked that question so I can ban them from my Twitter.
It was literally the airplane question. It was that if DCP crashed in a mountain and
yeah, but who asked the question?
I want to have that question.
I bet it was Hugo.
On the wall.
I bet it was Hugo. I'm willing to bet.
Hugo said no, though.
Maybe
he's lying.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't want the heat.
That sounds like something Hugo would do.
Right? Yeah. I was like, I bet. Willing to bet. Hugo, you should take.
Remember, most interesting Korean. We don't get many questions from him anymore. I don't know if he listens to the show anymore, but he used to ask some pretty crazy ass questions too.
He asked all like really good questions almost every week.
I mean, he was the most interesting Korean.
Exactly.
Do you think he's not?
Do you think that's like an official title?
It's a government position in Korea, South Korea.
Yes.
It
sounds more like a North Korean title. Like this is the most interesting Korean. It's the only an authoritarian state would definitely award a title such as that. I'm stalling on reading this top. I don't know if you've noticed.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, okay. I'd love that.
This week at Bungie.
This week at Bungie, April 1st.
Strange choice to have. Well, it is always on Thursday, so
it's almost as if it's always on Thursday.
This week at Bungie, we have modifications on our mind. Guardians are further proving their worth at the Proving Grounds, which has become featured.
Are you going to read the whole thing?
Well, just giving a little synopsis to start. I'm setting the tone.
We're trying to bullcrap our way through Destiny news.
Yeah, obviously, right?
We gotta take the twab slow, otherwise we might have to like talk about something.
Okay.
Instead of just assholes.
All right, opening doors with assholes at This Week at Bungie, April 1st.
Wait,
okay?
They addressed it finally?
Yeah, they said a certain Guardian named Briar Rabbit.
My letter writing campaign has finally come through.
It's going to be an emote in the next season's Eververse, I believe it says.
Your Guardian's launching and doing the twist.
Oh no, that's
I will give Eververse that money.
Oh, that would be a finisher. You're right, Watts.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Just spread them and then clap them back right in somebody's face.
Oh man. So the Proving Grounds, Nightfall, all that they said that. Gearing up with the return of 801 to the tower in season 14, introducing some small quality of life upgrades to a couple of tower vendors. So this is a whole discussion about Banshee and Ada taking different role. Or Banshee's still the gunsmith, obviously, but they're moving some of the mods, and Ada is taking over the armor and transmog type of stuff. This is actually pretty cool because she's getting quite a bit of stuff that I think a lot of people are going to check out every week. At least I think, anyways. So in addition to being, let's see, I lost my place. In addition to being the primary vendor associated with the upcoming transmog system, also known as armor synthesis, 801 will become the vendor who delivers a variety of armor-focused items and upgrades. Each day, 801 will now sell one randomly chosen armor mod from the general and armor slot, helmet, gauntlets, etc. groups, and one randomly chosen combat style armor mod chosen from the Charged with Light and Warmind cell mod groups, which will make it easier for players who missed those to be able to get those into the collections. Additionally,
thank God.
Yeah, that's definitely good. Excuse me. Additionally, on a weekly basis, 801 will sell one armor set randomly from the world loot pool with a stat roll that also changes on a weekly basis. I think that's cool, right?
Yeah,
that's
because
real cool.
Yeah.
It's real cool. We had this kind of similar thing in D1, right, where vendors kind of change their stuff. So every week at reset, you check all the vendors, see what they're selling, see if there's anything you want. So they're bringing back that kind of feeling, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was some of the pushback is that we always heard in Destiny 2 is like, why don't vendors have new stuff every week? Well, because it's expensive to make new stuff. But in Destiny 1, they had new stuff every week. It wasn't new stuff, really. It was just new stat rolls on the stuff that they always had, which made it feel like new stuff.
Yeah.
And I think adding that into Ada and what's his
Banshee.
name? The gunsmith. Yeah.
Old
I think
Banshee
that
44.
adds a lot. It's like every day you're going to want to go check that out, or at least find out who tweets that every day.
Yeah.
To make sure you're not missing out on something you need.
Well, it breathes new life. I mean, Banshee's going to have some new stuff as well with the weapons every week, but it really breathes.
He's getting 6 weapons, which is randomly chosen from the weapons in the world loot pool, 2 kinetics, 2 energy, and 2 power slots with perk rolls on each weapon that are randomly determined at the start of the week. So each week you're going to log in, you're going to check the tower, check gunsmith, check Ada, and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's kind of like it's getting closer to how D1 was towards the end of its life, of like everything was kind of getting a weekly refresh when you log in. It's still only 2 vendors that that's happening with, but at least it's something to check in, because there could be some crazy roll of some weapon or a really high stat roll for some armor that you're like, oh, go buy this right now.
Yeah, and I really like this as well because Ada's becoming like the armor smith, and then Banshee's the gunsmith. So he's all to do with guns, Ada's all to do with armor. So I really like that distinction as well.
Yeah, actually, it made me think how it's kind of weird that there hasn't been an armor smith until now.
Yeah, right?
Like, Destiny is very heavily in the armor side of things, and it's always been a weaponsmith in the game. Yeah. Cool. So this is all happening in next season, season 14.
Yeah, next season's when Transmog comes, right? Like, getting it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that system. From what we've seen, just like the pictures of it, it looks really well done, really well fleshed out. So very exciting. I'm going to be spending a lot of time there.
My Guardian is still going to be dressed like an idiot.
Maybe maybe a more intentional idiot?
Maybe.
You can go out of your way to find the most idiotic look.
Yeah, you're trying to break.
My guess is that I'll interact with the system for like a week, and then like be like, okay, that was fun, and then just continue going about my merry way of equipping the best gear without ever transmogging anything.
See, this system is great when you finally settled on something that is your main, like your gear, but once you've done that, you want to take your time to really iron out the look, and it's so nice to be able to have that as an option.
Yeah. And now the stuff isn't going to get sunset.
Exactly.
Actually, though, is that going to create a situation where you get your perfect gear and then you no longer are ever looking for anything? Because like you've got your
because
gear
of transmog.
And it looks the way you want it to. So,
but when new stuff comes out, and you like the look of it, maybe, especially like, I think the way that it will work is like right at the beginning, you're going to want to transmog a bunch of things that you really like. But then after that, you're probably just a new season's going to come and you're like, I'm just going to transmog the seasonal armor so that I have it. So I think you probably still go for armor, but maybe you just go for it once, because then once you've got it, you can just transmog it on your favorite thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely more of a convenience, or like you play the game a lot, you want to look a certain way. You're obviously not going to be transmogging every day, but the fact that you have the option.
I'm going to transmog every day.
Every single
day.
I'm
going to transmog like 1 armor piece and then 50 capes.
I could bring back the pumpkin officially now with this, with transmog.
Yes, you can.
Yes. I believe that should be the canonical look for your Titan.
Dad bod central.
Yeah.
I
mean, this puts pressure on Bungie's armor artists, right? It's like, okay, now the only reason that anybody's ever got to like go after armor is if it looks cooler than their previous armor does. So you better make it look cool.
But it's also, if you have to adjust your build for a particular setting and you don't want to level up another piece of gear or something like that, it's nice that you can just swap with the transmog.
Yeah, transmog is a very welcome addition.
Yeah, Destiny has a lot of really awesome looking stuff. A lot of the Destiny community loves messing with the way they look and all of that. So it's going to be such a good thing to have in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to put on all Trials of 9 armor because that's the best Trials has ever been.
That was the premier state of Trials.
It is a massive flex, though, because not many people who are playing right now have it.
Really?
So.
Really?
Because if they started playing when it went free, they won't have it, which is when a lot of people started playing Destiny. Trials of the 9 was around, but it went away pretty quickly, and they've never added another way to get it. Well, I guess in the dungeon, there's ways to get
from Trials.
The non-flawless armor. There's ways to get the non-flawless.
It glows blue and everything.
It does. It glows. It's very cool.
Showing up, flexing.
That's right. I played the easiest version of Trials ever, or one of my clanmates did.
Yeah, you hit him with the back in my day.
That's actually shoot your gun in that Trials, though. So maybe it was the hardest.
It was
Trials.
one hand.
Interesting.
One hand on your gun and the other hand on the cheek of your teammate. Butt cheek.
It's true.
So you could.
That's right. One hand on your scout rifle.
Yeah.
One hand on your scout. One hand on your graviton.
Yeah.
One hand.
Yeah, on the ass cheek of your buddy right next to you.
Maybe a foot on the rock that you're hiding behind.
Yes. Trials of 9. Let's see. Last one standing. So this is talking about feedback on celerity or celery and bottomless grief. Basically the pain points of it not being intrinsic perks. The taking up an additional perk slot and all that. So they said, when we launched with Trials of Osiris, we made a new origin perk for Trials, Celerity. It's a wildly powerful perk, gives plus 100 aim assist, handling, all that stuff. We intended this to be great for clutch Last Guardian players, as in Trials specifically, and it is very strong, but we found a trigger condition that relies on failure, meaning your teammates died, and now it's up to you. Generally feels pretty bad, and the power it grants doesn't negate that feeling. So they fully recognize that's an issue. It's not a good perk in that sense, the way you feel and how it's being triggered. Players never like betting against themselves on their teams or their teams. Not only that, but the perk is useless outside of Trials and a couple of other activities. I think for me, that's like the biggest downfall of something like that. It only works in Trials. It's like,
Yeah, like it is strong. It gives you can see the radar, like you can be aimed down sights with a sniper and you can still see your radar. Like it does have, it makes a big difference, but when did you use it so
you got to be in Trials and your teammates all have to be dead.
Yeah.
Pretty conditional.
The chances of me being the last player standing on a Trials team are not good either.
They also said, side note, Deepstone Crypt Origin perks were well received. So while Celerity specifically didn't hit the mark, the idea still has legs. So area specific or event specific type of things. In Beyond Light, we introduced Adept Weapons to Trials, wanting to try out a new system for aspirational weapons in a small set before rolling them out more broadly. Had 3 goals for the Adept Weapons. Give players a tangible reward to aspire towards with custom visuals and a unique name so they can flex. Give players who've earned an Adept Weapon a minor power boost and some gameplay customization options in the form of improved masterwork, granting +3 to all stats and ability to equip Adept mods. And do not make players who can't earn these weapons feel like they can't compete with other players who have them. They mentioned Not Forgotten
No.
in that particular case right there. The infamous one. We've seen all of your suggestions to make Celerity and Bottomless Grief intrinsic to Nightfall's Trials and Nightfall weapons, or only to the Adept versions, and I wanted to touch the base on this idea. They said there's 3 problems with this. For performance reasons, this is really fascinating. For performance reasons, we have a maximum number of perks that can run on a character at a given time. Legendary weapons have a threshold per weapon, and many of them are right at the limit. Adding a perk on top of that without taking one away causes bad things to happen, and that's capitalized. So they got a thing.
It breaks the game.
Breaks the game in the form of random perks turning off. Isn't that interesting? So the game is at a point, their engine is at a point where if they add more perks to legendaries, it stops working.
It breaks
the perks.
Fascinating. It makes you really realize with stuff like this the limits that they have to work with, because of course we probably all understand that there's some type of limit to what they can do in a game.
Sure.
You know, you can't just expand forever, but this really puts it into perspective of they're trying to create cool stuff that you're excited about with these limitations.
Right.
So it's fascinating to hear these types of things. I love hearing the nitty gritty about making this game.
Yeah.
Like and I realized, like, God damn, I would not want to work on this game. It's really hard.
Yeah, or like they would have to do an underlining system or the fundamental change to the system to make it function correctly with more perks. It is fascinating, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. They said adding a new column or a new perk column to weapons from a specific source introduces power creep. This is the second detail, the second problem. Power creep gets introduced, and pretty soon we'll end up having to do the same for all weapons on other sources. And then the third reason, or the third thing they're concerned about, is adding a new perk column to only Adept Weapons would work against the third goal of Adept Weapons, and we believe would feel bad for players dying to Adept Weapons that are able to stack Celerity with other things like Outlaw Rampage, which is kind of power creep in PvP, essentially. Or, well, kind of. Yeah. In Season 14, we're making the following changes to Trials and Nightfall weapons and their Adept versions. Note, this only applies to new drops of the weapons, not previous drops. So your collection...
gotta get back out there and
refresh that collection.
Re-get your stuff. And I'm sure if they... I was going to say, I think if they could have made it retroactive, I'm sure they would have.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they realize that people see this and they're going to be like, oof, people are going to be mad that they have to get the same role. So I'm sure there's a reason why they can't just do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine. So Nightfall Weapons, Bottomless Grief grants a permanently active +30 to magazine. Bottomless Grief is now a fixed alternate perk in the left column. On Adept drops of Nightfall Weapons, you can switch between that and a randomly rolled perk in the inspection screen. And then Trials Weapons. Celerity grants a permanently active +20 to both reload and handling. Celerity is now a fixed alternate perk as well in the right column on the Adept drops of Trials Weapons. So I think that's a fair solution. And it's good that they told us that they can't add another column. But
yeah.
Because people would be like, well, why didn't you just add another column? No, you're making it so it's like one of the other, come on, like they're Adept. They should be special or something like that. Well, now we know the engine physically won't allow it at the moment unless they rewrite a whole bunch of code for it, which I'd rather them make new content than rewrite engine code over something like that.
And this celerity change is kind of nice. Like having +20 handling and reload is like that's a decent perk right there.
Yeah. I could see it as if you got a perk that you're not interested in, well, at least you got celerity, which will give a nice bonus to reload and handling.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it's fair. You know?
Yeah, I think so.
Fair change, right? Moving forward, they're not done with Origin perks and hope to have something that better achieves goals in the future. So more to come.
A little hinty hint.
Yeah, a little bit of hint going on right there.
Little tease. Little April tease. April tickle.
Oh, that's right. This is April Fool's. I forgot. None of this counts.
None of this is true. It's none of it happened.
This is all bullshit. Turns out they can have 20 perks on one gun.
Fooled you.
Got him. Spooky Scary Stream Team. They are doing another stream deep dive, and it's going to be of the Presage Exotic Mission. It's going to be spooky.
Oh,
love it.
April 7th. That's next week.
Yeah,
next week. Yep.
10 a.m.
Love these things. I want this for everything. I want it for the different world locations. I want it for all the activities. I want it for all of the nightfalls. I want it for everything. I love hearing about this stuff and seeing all of the concept art and everything is awesome.
Yeah,
patrol zones. I like it for patrol zones when they just wander around and say, "Oh yeah, here's why we designed it this way, and here's what happened here," right? And like that's why this looks the way it does. I always wanted those for the original Destiny 2 locations. We never got them.
Yeah, agreed.
I always wanted somebody to tell me what's up with those fossils.
Right. Yeah. When you're really into a game, any like story or any development behind the scenes is incredible to see. You love seeing the details peeled back and people giving their recollections, right?
Yeah.
Really cool.
The end of the TWAB is actually kind of funny. I laughed. I giggled. So it's Cosmo, and he said, "We don't got no April Fool's jokes for you. It's a fairly light TWAB this week anyway, so padding it out with some fake story about how Master Ahul is getting his own record deal didn't feel right. Okay, now that I typed that, it actually sounds hilarious. Sorry we didn't think of it sooner." I would have loved that. Have his own, maybe make a little song, just like a short little song of Master Ahul spitting some bars, potentially.
What kind of music does Master Ahul?
What kind of artist
I think hardcore
is
gangster
Master
rap.
Ahul?
Yeah, I think so too.
He got signed to Death Row Records.
That is canonical as far as I'm concerned. Yep. Master Ahul was a hardcore gangster rapper before he became a Guardian.
Checks out to me.
Yeah, it adds up. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it for the 12, right?
It's pretty much it. Yeah, there's stuff like known fixes, and they talked about the Proving Grounds Nightfall a little bit. which is they basically, there was a thing with the calendar where they were showing the strikes availability to people and stuff like that, and they just said that we failed to acknowledge on the calendar that Beyond Light and the season pass would be required to play the Nightfall version of Proving Grounds. All Nightfalls require ownership of their associated expansion to access.
Nice.
So yeah, you can play it, but you can't do the Nightfall for stuff. They also did fix the Guardian Games Ghost Shell because there was an issue with that. That issue has been resolved. So if you've been missing your Ghost Shell, you can now get it back. They also talked about Flawless Dungeons. So they said that with the launch of Beyond Light, some changes were made to how Flawless Triumphs were rewarded for dungeon completions. While previously Flawless Triumphs would be awarded to an individual basis for not dying during the activity, they now award on a fire team basis instead. This means that every member of the fire team will need to have no deaths during the activity for the Flawless Triumph to be awarded for each dungeon. Yeah, it's like the other way. You all have to not die, not just one of you not.
Can't just get carried.
Can't get carried.
When does the new season start? Do we know exactly?
Like
Is it on the calendar?
We know it's like May something. So if you count the days that are left on the season, it's May something. May 11th, maybe? I was waiting for chat to tell me. It's like, yeah, if you look at you can figure it out by doing this thing, and then you carry the two.
So that's a month away. I mean, it's April 1st now, so a month and 10 days away.
When does VOG get launched?
Next season, right?
Yeah. Did they give a date though yet, or is it?
I don't think
it's going to be day
yet.
one VOG.
I don't think
is there going to be a raid race for VOG.
So. There will be a raid race, but it's being done a little bit differently. They said that they're like giving you some challenges to do in the raid. So the first team to do all of the challenges in VOG gets world first.
Oh yeah, that's going to be interesting to watch because it's not going to be about the first one who can get through it. It's going to be about who can figure out what the challenges are and how to complete them.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. I forgot about that.
It's cool. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to do it? I'm not going to do it. Are you guys going to do it?
No VOG for you, Briar?
No VOG? Come on. Maybe we can actually complete it because we know what we're doing. So maybe it won't be like a big old slog like normal.
VOG slog?
Yeah. VOG slog? You can just come join us. It'll be great, Briar. It'll be fun. We'll finish it in like an hour probably or two.
I mean, if it's just VOG, then we could.
Yeah, that's
but if they're... If the challenges
maybe you'll get a mythic class. Maybe.
They better bring back mythic class. I'm really interested to see what the VOG weapons are going to be.
Yeah, I agree. Are they
going to bring because those are still, I think, some of the best weapons they've ever made in Destiny, right? They're, at least they're some of the most iconic.
Definitely.
I would expect so. Dragonfly only runs on energy weapons, right? So I think it would be really interesting if they gave Fatebringer like Dragonfly or Firefly or whatever, because then it would be the only primary weapon with that, which would kind of make Fatebringer shine. Whereas I think if they just brought it back and it's an energy and it has Firefly, it wouldn't be that special because we've gotten very strong. So if they did that, I think that would be a really cool thing that they could do that would make it special.
Yeah. I'm very curious how they're going to play that out. So it'll be the first time bringing back an OG raid as well, or actually the first time a D1 raid, right?
What about they brought him back in Destiny 1? They brought VOG back.
That's different. That's different.
Into
how's it different?
Those never went away. You could still go access to them. They gave them like a little trim up, you know. This one, they're porting it over to the Destiny 2 engine and environments. And I mean, you have all of the Destiny 2 stuff, like the different supers, like the engine, the sandbox is different, all that. Like it's gonna have to be handled a certain way. Yeah?
Yeah, maybe.
Briar's
I'll make that determination afterwards.
Briar. You were laughing at Twitter.
Somebody asked in chat. Twitter questions?
When do you think they're going to?
This is an argument to have after it releases and we see what they've actually changed.
No,
if it's the same
speculation, Briar. I need your thoughts on speculative stuff that's coming down the road.
Here's my speculation. One of the challenges for World's First VOG will be bubble tether murder.
Ooh, I like it.
Challenge.
Interesting.
What if
the BTM?
The old BTM. What if they made the Gorgon maze like an actual encounter?
That'd be very interesting.
Yeah, where like
you have
they
to kill the
they
Gorgon.
did that. Didn't they do that at some point? They put like a giant harpy in there.
You're thinking the mission. Remember they added a mission to the Vogue?
Yeah.
To get, I can't remember what weapon it was, but yeah, they added that stuff in Taken King. Yeah, it's gonna be fascinating to see how they handle it. Like I said, like, is Vex Mythoclast gonna feel good or just average because they don't want it to be overpowered? Are the Vogue weapons gonna be iconic or not so good in the new engine? You know,
hear me out. Bring back, like, if I'm Bungie right now, I'm like, bring back the Vex Mythoclast. And we'll just make it overpowered for like 3 weeks. We're gonna build that in. We're gonna build that life cycle, and the Vex is just gonna be stupidly overpowered in PvP and PvE for 3 weeks. We've already got the patch planned that patches it down to like normal, but for 3 weeks, that shit is going to be amazing.
What if they did
Charles
this?
comes back in the 3.5 week, so then no one can complain.
What if they did a thing where its power was inversely correlated to how many Guardians have died to it in the Crucible? So it starts out really powerful because no Guardians have died yet to it, but as more and more Guardians die, it's got a inverse power curve where it keeps on dropping and gets worse.
Like every
and worse.
time, like 100,000 Guardians are killed, it loses 1 point of damage.
Or it's like a population thing. It takes like a slice. Be like, in this week, this many fell winners killed this many, and like if it's on the top, then it gets like it keeps on getting cut down.
I really like that.
I love it.
Community-based weapon.
It's like baked into the lore that Guardians get resistance to weapons or something as they fight them.
They build an immunity.
Yeah, like when you eat poison mushrooms to build up your poison resistance.
Yeah,
obviously.
I got a Vex Mythoclast shot in my arm.
You're not doing that, are you, Watts?
Every day. I'm ready to go fight Rathian. I'm going to do great against Rathian.
Ready. Are you guys going to be excited for Crota coming back?
Honestly, I really like Crota. I like the vibe of Crota, you know, like being in the dark with all the thrall coming at you and you don't know where they are was a really awesome experience. I think Crota has awesome experiences in a spooky way.
Yeah. I think ultimately Crota, at least Crota version 2, like the second edition of Crota's raid, is probably my most favorite raid of Destiny 1.
That's
and it
fun.
didn't start off that way because the way it started was a buggy mess, and it was actually my least favorite. But once they fixed all the bugs that were in that raid, and they added that little bit with the swords, once you cross the bridge and everybody's just whacking everything with swords.
Yeah.
And like laughter was so contagious in that part that you couldn't help but have fun.
Yeah, it was
I think that became over time my favorite raid of Destiny 1. But it definitely didn't start that way. I thought it was a pretty rough experience at the early get-go.
Yeah, and you had to be 31 at least to do damage to take off the shield for Crota. So
it was not easy to get to that level. And even if you were appropriate leveled and you had a fire team who knew what they were doing, the Crota fight, like the boss fight itself, felt like it was random chance whether the encounter was going to work correctly and you were going to be able to proceed. Like whether the correct weapon was going to spawn in, whether the ogres were going to spawn correctly, whether the Crota was going to spawn correctly. There were several like different things that just sometimes they worked and sometimes they didn't when that raid launched. And it was, I think, for a good 3 to 6 months, it was really kind of a crapshoot. And it was really frustrating because there were a lot of good weapons in there that my raid team at the time would do it 3 times a week to get all 3 characters through.
Yeah, Black Hammer.
Dude, the Black Hammer.
Yeah.
Right?
That was the gun for a long time.
Black Hammer was good.
I mean, it was
and also
Fatebringer,
the
Black
best
Hammer,
name
Gjallarhorn.
for a gun that I think we've ever seen.
It's crazy how that was like one of the best exotics while being a legendary. in the game.
Yeah.
Like all time, one of the greatest exotics that has existed in the game, and it wasn't even exotic to begin with.
But there's also the actual exotic where it had that exotic quest that you had to go on, where you started off with like the white version of the weapon,
The
and
husk.
it became
the
husk,
of the
right?
pit.
Husk of the pit, yeah.
And that was a random drop as well, which kept people going. I didn't get the husk of the pit until the last week of the Crota raid, right before the next raid came out the next week.
It wouldn't drop for me. It took me for a long time to get that thing to drop.
Yeah.
Crux of Crota, like the
Crux of Crota. Yep.
You get the ball that you put into the gun to turn into the necrochasm, right?
Yeah,
Necrochasm
that was
is
an
really
interesting
fun
time for
weapon.
Destiny. I don't know that I'd ever want to see go back to something like that. It was a different time for Destiny for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. It was a lot more, I guess, MMO based in that sense, with those type of weapon quests, like converting them and changing them. They would evolve, even like the weapon system or the upgrade system, with the different materials you had to put into there. You know, I mean, there was a reason to farm raids outside of getting the drops. Like you wanted those ascendant materials, ascendant shards, and all that.
That's right.
Those were very valuable. And the only way to max out your weapons was to have enough of those shards that you only got from doing the raids. So there was actually, even though it was a pretty small loop, it was concise. It made sense of everything that you had to do to make all your stuff at the max level.
Yeah. But it also left a lot of people out. People who didn't want to play like Destiny as a 6-person game, like we're just left out of the high-end content of Destiny.
Yeah.
True.
It was a different game.
Yeah,
it was.
It's
very
evolved
different.
quite a bit. It's for sure.
Well, I keep saying it must be really hard to make this game because you have players who have come in at all stages of it, and it has gone from a very different game to what it is now.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine what it's like to try and make all those people happy.
There was a time where the most interesting part of Destiny was PvP tournaments.
Yeah. Imagine. Yeah.
Oh man.
Things have changed.
I mean, that was big stuff at one point. Like we were watching online tournaments of Destiny being played, and it was exciting.
It was very exciting. Yeah. And at Guardian Con, when it was Guardian Con, they had the big tournament and it was on the big screen and it worked really well. People really enjoy watching the elimination game type.
Yeah. God, I wish they would bring a ranked version of I wish they would put a ranked version of a playlist into Destiny. Like that'd be so fun.
Like a proper ranked system.
Like a proper rank system where you actually move up the ranks, right? It's like
Would it be like a Halo?
You get a badge. Exactly like a Halo thing. I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter lately, and I'm working my way up I'm trying to work my way up the ranks. And like it's like you win a match. It's so simple in Street Fighter. It's like if I'm a bronze level player and I play somebody who's super bronze, I get a bunch of points. Or if I win, I get a bunch of points. If I lose, he gets a few points because he beat somebody who's not as high level as them.
Yeah,
like it's such a simple system in that game. I'd love to see like a real ranked. God, it would be so much fun and like to be able to earn, like I'm now a bronze level Destiny player or a gold level Destiny player. That'd be dope.
Yeah, the concept behind that, I'm definitely behind. But then I think about the current status of the community and the stuff that goes on. Imagine people doing
that's a good point.
Paid recovs for like platinum tier, level 50 Guardian, and they happen to do like a recov for that, like I don't know.
We're just cheaters.
At least you wouldn't have people DDoSing to then just hold you offline until you give them money, and then which is a thing that people do. I think it's mostly on Xbox. Actually, I think in the update today they rolled out DDoS protection to Xbox.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Was that in that?
That was in there today.
They're slowly testing it. Obviously, it's not fully out there yet. They're not saying that like it's officially launched, but they're slowly releasing it to make sure that there's like no disconnections. People can actually connect to the game. Yeah, so hopefully soon. I think it will then roll out to PlayStation would be my guess, and then it should launch fully. Can't wait.
Yeah.
So I know we're gonna have Grenada Jake on the show on the 8th. So he has stopped playing Xbox because he has a VPN and he can protect himself. But the people he's playing with are just getting hit off all the time. So he's like,
so
I can protect myself, but I can't protect everyone who's playing with me. So he has to, to protect his community, he can't play on there anymore.
Ugh. What a stupid thing to have to worry about to play a video game.
I know.
Yeah.
And right now it's, people can't risk that. There's people who have kids doing schoolwork online and people are doing their job online.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait for
God,
this
I
to
didn't
be
even think of that,
thing.
Watts. Jesus.
Yeah. Your kid goes to do some trials, takes down the whole network. You can't work for the rest of the day.
Right?
Parents are like, every time you play that game, our internet goes down. There is the problem. Yeah.
But soon you won't be able to do it. And then console won't have the cheaters and then it won't have the DDoSing and it will be a lovely, glorious place.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Stadia has all that covered right now.
Stadia does have it.
Yeah. For as long as that lasts.
I mean, it's Google. It's going to be around forever.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys want to do some Twitter questions?
Twitter questions, Briar.
That's a loaded question, Briar.
Did we have Twitter questions
Too soon? Too soon?
Ooh, I have to think about it.
I already admitted that I make them all up.
True. Yeah. What questions have you made up this week, Briar?
420 No Scopes XX says. Umami Ramen says, I love watching and listening to DCP every week, but I saw a conversation that made me wonder, where are all the Destiny artists lately? Love to see people like Ash, the Game of Trap, Young Khan, Farian Art, Shackle Oh No, Tosthaj, and so many more. Love the show and the community. I saw you talking about this a little bit, Watts.
Yeah, so Gamma, if you don't know who Gamma Trap is, he makes phenomenal art, not just on Destiny, on lots of things. Like for a lot of his Destiny art, it's got this very like almost Dark Souls vibe to it. So I love it. So he put out a tweet and he was saying that he, was kind of given up on being a community focus or being on DCP. And I wanted to talk to him about that because something that I spoke to Ash about was having a way of getting artists in the community on the podcast, but having it make sense, right? Because normally what we do with people who come on, they play a lot of Destiny, we do a little interview, and then we move into talking about Destiny. Whereas if we had an artist on, I wouldn't want to just do that, right? I would want to have them on and be able to them to pick work that they really like and would like to showcase so we can show the community and the chat, live chat and YouTube, what their art is like. And then
that's a great idea.
They can choose to stay to talk about Destiny stuff if they want to, or if they want to just do the interview and show off their art and then head off while we talk about the nitty gritty Destiny stuff. We could do that. But yeah, when we've had artists on before, like they're here because they make really awesome art, but we're not showing their art. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We get to know them, but no one gets to see what they do. So I wanted to work with Ash to create the best way of highlighting this community's artists, because this community has insane artists. Like they're so talented. So I would love to give them the chance of there's so many. So I would love
all the
to
people
to
listed
have them
here,
on.
but then there's many more.
Many more. So I would love to start doing that.
There's challenges with having artists on too. Is like obviously normally we have streamers or YouTubers on, and they already have good microphones. They know how to set up, a Discord call. And sometimes when you get into people who that's not their main focus, it can be difficult on a podcast side, making it entertaining and listenable podcast. Having them, with like their iPhone headset trying to be on a podcast. It can be hard to listen to it, and it can be hard to have a conversation, and maybe they don't know how to record. So like that side of it can be hard. That's a lot of the reason we don't have like a lot of people are always asking like to have like randos on, like people who just like love the show, they want to be on the show. Well, that's why we don't do it. It's because we are trying to put on a show. I know it sounds goofy and all that stuff most of the time, but we are trying to put on a good show. Tefty puts a lot of work into making it sound good too, and it gets really hard when so like that kind of stuff. But man, I love that idea, Watts, of having like
Yeah.
we could have like a slide deck of like their art and almost do like a ride along style thing where they show their art and then talk about what the process of making it. Man, that's fantastic.
That's what that's kind of what I was wanting is for them to be able to pick a couple pieces to show everyone and them kind of walk through what their inspiration was from the game and what kind of inspired them to make that type of art. And then Gamma also said, like, maybe we could have a thing where, you know, every week we put out a tweet talking about Twitter questions. Maybe we could put out a tweet for artists to put their art in and we could start showing off some art at the end of the show or at the beginning.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Because there's, like you said, there are a ton of artists.
There's so many.
And maybe not all of them want to come on the podcast because they're too shy or they don't feel comfortable doing so. Or maybe they don't even play Destiny that much. So they're like, why would I go on a Destiny podcast? But having a way to showcase the art is something that I would love to do because this community is blessed to have so many talented people. So I'd love to start doing stuff like that.
I got to use the restroom real quick, but I'm going to ask the next question and then I'm going to run while you guys answer it.
Okay.
Right back. Chris Wayne Necker says, if you could have one question answered by Bungie, what would it be? Heard this question from an episode back in Curse of Osiris and would love to hear the differing responses, seeing as Destiny 2 is in a much better place since then.
Oh man, that's really
this comes down to the like if you could add a one like subclass into the game and list all the features, what would it be? Like
wow,
it's a big question.
One question to ask them. It's hard because I always like learning about what it's like to make this game. So maybe I'll just ask the biggest question of all of like, how do you manage making this game for so many different players? Like what is the thought process between what is the thought process when it comes to making a season? Like what can you put in that season? What are the like limitations that you have for a season? How do you pick
like the development cycle
in a season? Yeah, like how do you pick that? That would be interesting because it would really give me an insight into what they prioritize. I'm sure you'd also learn about some things that they wanted to do but they couldn't do for whatever reason. That could be interesting.
Yeah, man, that's cool. Gosh,
it's
so much
really
possible. Like, I'm always curious how raids are made. So like along that same type of thought process, I would like to know on the raid team and like ask questions about that. But at the same time, as a player though, right now, what would I want to know?
Yeah.
I feel like it's future stuff, like the trajectory of the game. If I could have them answer one thing, it's like, what is going to happen after Lightfall? Like, what's the arc of the universe? Is it going to, you know, is the storyline a self-contained thing, and that's going to be the Destiny story, or are we going to finally like go beyond where we're at right now as Guardians, and it's going to expand into an even bigger universe and all that? Like, I would like to. I'd like that answer.
Where are we going? What are we doing?
Yeah, where are we going?
How did that question
outside
happen? And Tefty didn't mention netcode at all.
First of all,
now I'm going to be right back and go get coffee while you answer this incredibly difficult question.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough question. It's loaded. Yeah. Also, did you wash your hands?
Oh, I did. You know, I bought this little Bluetooth transmitter, so now I'm
you could hear us
wireless.
the whole time.
Yeah, so while I'm in the bathroom touching my genitalia, I can also hear you guys.
God, that is very awkward. So, what would you ask Bungie, bro?
I think I would ask him. Who's this game for, right? Like, is there a target audience for this game, and how often does it change? Like, are the people running this game like still targeting the same people that were running it? Like, I don't know. Like, who's their target audience? That's, I think, really what I would ask him, because it seems to change so frequently. Like, because the target audience for Destiny 2 is wildly different for launch Destiny 2 is wildly different than it is now, by Bungie's own admission, right? They went after a very casual audience. It didn't work out with the hardcore. So, like, I don't know. They don't seem to be targeting the PvP community at all right now, although they do keep putting out new Trials of Osiris stuff. So, like,
yeah,
it's a weird dichotomy right now. Like, we're only going to target the most hardcore of the PvP crowd and not the rest of them. I don't know.
Sure.
That's to me is like kind of the question in my head.
Yeah, the PvP question actually is probably the most pertinent right now because PvE has been great. Like they've been knocking it out of the park with a lot of great PvE content. It could be more, you know. I'd love to see more strikes and all that, but when it comes to the PvP side, man, it has been bone dry with a couple scraps here and there.
Yeah, except at the very top level, which is Trials of Osiris.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't. I don't think they stuck the landing though with Trials. It's like 1 foot hit, and it was like, oh, this is gonna work, and then all of a sudden, face plant. Like, let's get up and try this again. So I don't know.
Blade Cook says, "Where does everyone stand on the Season of the Plague / Siva thing that is taking over Twitter and Reddit?"
I've seen it. I think I'd actually love to get. I know Paul has been involved with the plague stuff, so I'd actually love to get him back on and have him like really give us a rundown of where it started.
Paul
I'm
Tassi?
sure Paul
He's
Tassi.
too busy not playing.
He's too busy not being a gamer.
Yeah, he's too busy being a fake gamer.
He's a fake gamer. He was exposed on Twitter and now I've seen his true ways. That he is a fake gamer. He faked all of his PS5 gaming. Definitely. It's true. But yeah, the Season of the Plague is cool. I haven't delved much into it besides seeing that people have been talking about it. People obviously on Twitter have like the little red plague thing next to their name to show that they're part of the plague gang. Yeah, so I don't know too much about it besides people are excited about having another kind of Siva season. So I would love to have Paul on to actually talk about that because I'm sure he's investigated it for articles and stuff.
How do you guys feel about that? If there was a Siva season?
Indifferent. Siva didn't really hit me. It always seemed like a side story to me, and not an extraordinarily interesting one. But
yeah, I kind of feel the same. Like with Siva, I never felt like, ooh, this is a big creepy threat, even though they did take out all the Iron Lords.
It was something pretty
Which
small.
is kind of scary.
Right?
Maybe this is how they redo Iron Banner. They're like they bring in Siva Iron Banner, so it's not a
Siva
full
banner.
season, but it's like Siva based armor, Siva based
They bring
weapon.
infected game mode, like from Halo infected mode.
In fact, there we go.
that'd
That's
be
it.
cool.
That's it. That's
I
the
would like
plague right
that.
there. Bring that.
Yo, I'd be down for that.
David Deuce says, "What's the best tactical approach to stepping into a war with the Cabal on Mars, and what would be your first course of action?"
Shoot first and ask questions later.
Ground war seems smart. It seems like they have a lot of spaceships, and that's not really one of our strengths.
The drop pods though, they'll crush you.
Yeah, that's true.
Drop
I really
pods
don't
are
think we
scary.
stand a chance. Honestly, I do like the moon. Like I like line up your whole army in like a line, and then moon the enemy. I like that.
Okay.
I think it's a power move. It's an aggressive play that I think works psychologically to intimidate the enemy.
Showing some cheeks.
We're now exposing our buttocks.
Show them your doorknob opener.
That will spook them. That might be how you win. What are turtles really afraid of? They're turtles, right? Are they? No, they're rhinos. What are rhinos
Space
afraid
rhinos.
of?
What
Fire.
Yeah, fire?
What are rhino? Well, you think that spiders are afraid of fire, but apparently not. It's a
What are
Monster
rhinos
Hunter
afraid
reference.
of? This article is way too long for me to get anything from out of it.
All right, hold on. Rhinos.
I'm
What?
telling you, fire. They're the
What
they're
don't
the,
rhinos
they're the
like?
firefighters of the forest. If you light a fire, a rhino will come and stamp it out.
Apparently, rhino's a Greek. What are Greek people afraid of?
Greek gods.
That's going to start getting me in trouble if I start trying to get funny here. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Did you know that rhinos say when they're happy?
Really?
Yeah. Did you know that they have a complicated relationship with the oxpecker bird? Maybe we attack them with oxpecker birds. Briar, you might be able to relate to this. They're long distance sprayers. And they communicate. And they communicate through poop. The Briar is a rhino. Why aren't you Briar Rhino? Yeah. And their farts smell like sulfur. This is just Briar all day, I think.
Oh man, I had this was like a month ago. My farts smelled like grape Kool-Aid all day.
Grape Kool-Aid.
Yeah, it was weird.
Grape
I don't know how to explain it.
Oh, rhinos have sensitive feet. There you go.
Huh.
Ringo the Dingo
put
says.
Rocks on the floor. Easy.
Oh yeah, put Legos.
Lego
toss for the win.
Defeat the cabal with Legos. Easy.
Ringo the Dingo says, if we would get playable characters from other races, like the Fallen of the Cabal, should they have different light or darkness subclasses or classes, other than Hunter, Titan, and Warlock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
I think the way it would probably work, if it was a thing, would be like that race would probably just have one class or something. Unless you're talking about like making a whole new selectable race.
Oh, are they talking about like a Hunter, Warlock, Titan for an Elixir?
Yeah.
Because I don't see it that way. I see the Elixir are one thing, and then they can have an attunement towards Arc, Solar, or Void, and not like have three specialties. Because think of it like this. You choose whether or not you're a human, awoken, or a
Exo.
Exo. It was like a robot. What the hell's it called again?
Robot.
Exo. You know, you pick those. Like, are you picking that as an Elixir or say a Cabal or something like that? Or does the Elixir become a fourth class with like specialties and different?
That makes the most sense. What you're saying is like you'd pick it when you pick your character creator.
Mm-hmm.
But because they're so physically different than like the human model, like you would think that their like combat abilities would be different too. I mean, the Elixir are so much taller than us, right? So they'd be banging their heads on the doors in the tower all over the place.
I think of it like this. There's no way in hell Bungie's going to develop three.
Yeah, you're right.
They're not going to develop a Hunter, Warlock, Titan-like thing for the Elixir to give us brand new classes. Like that's just not happening. But I could see them saying, well, we added Elixir and it has Arc, Solar, Void. So
yeah,
you got those supers.
It plays all the same except maybe like one small difference, you know.
Maybe instead of when they arc stride, they have 2 sticks instead of 1.
Sure.
Or 4.
That's extra hands. 4 sticks.
Yeah. Yeah.
K-Brass says, should creators / invitees be able to mention that they attended a Bungie community summit? I'd personally rather not even be aware of a summit, first hearing creators say they attended one and great things are coming, but they can't share the details. I get where you're coming from here, but I think you're not quite hitting it, K-Brass.
So it's with that kind of stuff, they allow people to say where they were because maybe people are like, what were you doing? And they don't want to put it on you that you have to like lie about where you were. They don't want to make the people who are being invited uncomfortable and feel like they can't say that, oh, I was at a summit, and they have to make up some obscure excuse as to why they weren't live on a Tuesday because it happened on Tuesday, which is reset day. So it's like, I think you need to give creators or anyone who gets invited, because I've seen people get invited who are like on Reddit. They just post a lot on Reddit, or they have really high, say if they're doing something for Gambit, it's someone who has a lot of Gambit played that they'll invite. But they want to give you the freedom to be able to say where you were. But of course, if it's stuff that they're talking about that is going to change drastically. Like maybe they've just talked to you about something that they're thinking of doing that needs to be under NDA, right? Because say if Bungie has an idea that isn't even in motion of being created yet, but they're like, we want to have an open and honest communication with you guys who we're inviting. And they can't do that if no NDA is in place, because imagine someone coming back like, Destiny's gonna have dragons. They were talking about dragons, and then dragons never come because they're not able to make dragons, but it was just a thing that they were talking about. So I understand, like, I would rather not know anything than know, but I think we need to just maybe be a little more understanding as to people need to be able to say that they were there without just lying to their community, but they can't tell us everything.
I do get where this comment is coming from, or this question is coming from, because it is annoying, like hearing like, oh yeah, I saw all the new stuff and it's so amazing, but I can't tell you about any of it. It's annoying, but also there is a certain responsibility, I think, as a creator to not overhype stuff that you may have seen.
Yep.
Especially if that stuff can change over time. I think a lot of creators have learned that lesson, but a lot haven't. And it can be annoying. It can be annoying. But I don't know that it'd ever be so annoying that I'd hold it against anybody else. Like,
right.
I mean,
that's why
look at the business.
At this point, when I get invited to those things, I'm fine just saying I went to a summit. I can't talk about anything. You'll see it eventually. Or you won't. I don't know. But yeah, I think I don't generally like to go down the road of like everything I saw was amazing and I'm so hyped for the future, but I can't tell you why. Because like you said, a lot of that can change. So you might be hyped about a thing that they showed you, but maybe that thing never actually makes it into the game. So it's tough.
Also, when you go to, I've never been to a summit, but I've been to things kind of similar in vein to like getting early access, and you get into a hype chamber about something where everybody around you is very positive, and everything that's going on is very positive. You come out of it very positive, but it takes you a little while to do a little bit of critical thinking about what you just saw and all that stuff, and it could be hard. Like, you know,
it's also hard at gameplay stuff because you're playing, obviously you are not on your normal characters, you don't have all the weapons, you don't have everything, so you are playing a very limited experience of whatever that thing is. So it's like Gambit is a perfect example. Gambit plays amazingly with crappy weapons that everyone else has, because then you're just experiencing the core of the game mode, which is pretty fun. But as soon as you add all of the OP weapons and heavy ammo and ways to get heavy ammo whenever the hell you want, it starts to not be as fun. So it's difficult. Yeah, I would always say when you hear that someone's gone to a summit and they say that they're excited, just take it with a pinch of salt. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're not lying. I'm sure the things that they saw did get them excited and happy for the future. But more so, I would say just be happy that Bungie is including people outside the studio to craft what this game is going to be. Because like the big summit that they had, I think it was before Forsaken, they had people from all over. They had people from Europe who were just really active on Reddit. They had like the Gambit person, I can't remember their name, but they had the person who had the most hours in a specific game mode. Yeah, so just I'd be happy that they're inviting all of these people from all walks of life and all hardcore, casual, middle of the road. I think that's good. Yeah. That's what I take away from it.
They're asking questions. They want to hear
they're asking questions. They want to know.
Yeah.
They don't just, it's because the studios, it's hard when you're in an echo chamber of a studio as well, right? Like you've been working on this thing, you've seen it go from here to here, and it's hard to kind of look at it objectively at a certain point, I would assume, because it's hard. Like when I'm working on something, I want to be like, hey, could you just look at this and tell me what you think? Because I've looked at it for so goddamn long, I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
It's nice to get that outside perspective. That's actually why they hired Holtzman and Mercules and those guys. They brought them in just to be like an outside opinion.
Right.
Because those opinions are valuable.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've ever heard that said about Holtzman.
Well, did you hear, Briar, did you hear what his new hobby is with mama birding?
Oh, God, no.
He likes
to hear.
Dear God, am I going to throw up?
Maybe
Yeah.
put your water
Would
down.
life be better
Put the
if
water
you didn't tell
down. Put the water down. He likes to eat pizza-flavored goldfish and spit them into the 3D
The
Dorito.
crap! Why? Oh my
You're welcome.
god!
Oh, he's cross-pollinating. Creating some kind of dark hybrid.
Do we need to be concerned legitimately as friends? Like, do we have
He has a
intervene?
girlfriend. I don't know. It's clearly working. Maybe everyone should try.
Have you
Mama
met
Burger.
her?
She's great. She's lovely.
Yeah?
She's also a very
Does
talented
she
artist.
know about this?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she does. He
Doesn't
streamed it for
sound
like
great to me.
20 minutes.
Ugh.
Daniel says, thanks for welcoming this new guardian into the community last week.
Oh.
What is the best piece of advice you can offer a new hunter like me? I played the Outriders demo. Oh, he has like 3 questions here. So we're going to go, what is the best piece of advice you can give a new hunter like me?
Get a lot of mobility and dodge a lot. Jumping's cool.
Yeah, I've always been a huge fan of the Dragon Shadows because you reload everything with a dodge. So high mobility in the Dragon Shadows is kind of like a catch-all to be able to just be extremely useful for all your weapons. I know a lot of people say stompies, and like, I get it. Stompies are nice, but it's one of those things. It's actually like Dragon Shadows. Dragon Shadows is nice, but you don't have to use Dragon Shadows all the time. Stompies is nice. Don't use those all the time either. Like, I don't know. I think it's good to experiment with that stuff. But like the high mobility, definitely. Because you want to be dodging and flopping and flipping and flopping all that.
You want to be a floppy fish.
Yeah. It's always quality.
That's fun.
Just this
That's
is
the
what I'd
most fun
say.
part.
Embrace the floppy fish. Always be thinking of the floppy fish, and you will be successful.
Yeah. And also, pat yourself on the back for not choosing to be a filthy warlock.
Yeah. Well done, Daniel.
Good job.
Done.
You were already on the right track, to be honest. So
Yeah. The rest is gravy. You already the biggest.
you got the
pitfall
meat
you
and
have
potatoes.
avoided.
Yeah. You're set up, man. Good job.
Mike Wendell says, do you guys think Bungie should make harder encounters and strikes, but add dialogue boxes for how to do them?
Like little quick tutorials?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. This is a really tough question because
Tefty doesn't read tutorials.
I'm like
I don't
Briar.
either, to be
I'm like
honest.
Briar. I'm illiterate, you know? So that's...
I didn't come here for reading. I came here
No,
to play
it's-
some video games.
No, I know. I'm just saying it fills me with a little bit of joy when a tutorial had just happened and then Tefty's like, how do I do that? And then we're like, Tefty, they just showed you. What did you
Oh man, I can't
And I see
stand
chat
reading.
explode in a Tefty didn't read the tutorial
I
again.
can't stand reading like a long tutorial in a game when I'm streaming. It just
I can't either.
it violates everything in my mind of like do you want to watch someone read a book? You know? Like I don't feel like I would like just them to themselves. You know, they're not like like just literally looking at like you're in a library and they're reading a book. You want that? Like that's how I feel.
When I read it out loud too, I don't have the same reading retention. I don't have the same retention.
Yeah. Yeah, I identify with that too. It's strange. When I'm by myself and I'm not streaming, then I'll be like, I should read this tutorial. This is pertinent information. But when I'm
You
streaming,
feel a pressure to perform.
yeah, there's this pressure that like dead air. You sense dead air when you're when you're streaming.
Well, that's why you got to do it in a funny voice, like Tefty. Remember when you were impersonating the Meemaw cat in Iceborne?
Yeah, yes.
Do that voice for all tutorials.
But my retention level goes all the way out the window because I'm doing the Meemaw voice.
Well, then at least you read it.
Outside of streaming, though, like I still don't want to see this happen. The problem is that strikes to me are something that I go through kind of quickly to earn rewards. And whenever they've added like actual mechanics to strikes, they become the strikes that I avoid because I'm going to get blueberries on the team that are either uninterested in doing what, like, even if they know what they're supposed to do, or worst case scenario, somebody in your strike team can actually troll by like holding on to an item that is needed to complete the strike. And that can be super annoying. So it's hard to do this kind of stuff. We've talked about it a lot before. But whenever you have blueberries, whenever you have random matchmaking, like you gotta be really careful with what encounters can do and how they can be halted by like players.
Maybe they just have to build in a bunch of safety things where if there is one ball that gets spawned to do this thing, they need to always spawn 2 balls. So if one person is being a dumb, the other person can be like,
maybe
stop being a dumb. I got this. I'm going to do it anyways. And the other ball disappears when the activity or the requirements are met.
It does. It does make you think of. It actually prevents a lot of mechanics being put in. Like, 3 players have to stand on 3 different platforms. You can't do that because what if one player doesn't want to go stand on a platform or doesn't know how to? So it really does limit the mechanics that you could do. Actually.
Yeah. Yeah, unless it's something that is just it's faster with all 3 people doing it. It's slower with one person doing it.
True.
Yeah, but then it's still annoying because now you're spending all your time doing what
true.
your teammates should be doing.
I hear you.
And I like stuff like those kind of mechanics and those kind of difficulties. I've never believed that there should be matchmaking for raids because I just think it would be awful. It would be an awful experience.
Well, if Holtz was here,
I think
he would talk about his World of Warcraft experience and saying how like you got the basic bitch version of the raid.
You got the baby raid.
Baby raid.
For babies.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then that requires very little coordination. And then you step it up to the next one. And then
That's what strikes are. They're baby
That's
raids.
what strikes are.
They're baby
raids.
They actually are that right now.
VHRP Gaming says, what is your favorite class in Outriders? Do you think Destiny now has some competition?
Ooh, Destiny Killer.
Destiny Killer.
Guys, so I want to tell
class?
you. First, I want to tell you the command that I put in chat. I put a command to happen every 30 seconds or something, and it says, game is nothing like Destiny. Loot and guns don't mean they're the same game. Game is not like Anthem. Game is not a live service. Game is not like Division. Game is game. Because every 2 seconds, someone's like, is this
Destiny
like
Killer?
Is this killing Destiny? Is this like Anthem? It looks like Anthem. Is it Godfall? It's Godfall, isn't it? No.
Ooh, I liked Godfall. Godfall got a bad rap.
It did. I enjoyed my time with Godfall. I'll be honest. So no. Class. I played Trickster. I played a little bit of Technomancer. Honestly, I think all of them are fun in their own way. It really does depend on how you want to play the game. Because I didn't think I'd like Technomancer. It's very like staying back and putting down turrets, which is kind of the complete opposite of Trickster. But as I was leveling it up, it was pretty fun. So considering that is a playstyle that I didn't think I would enjoy, and I did end up enjoying it, I feel like they're all good. It just depends what you like.
Yeah, in the demo I played the Pyromancer. I did not like it that much. I felt like it was forcing me to stay back.
I didn't like the Pyromancer either.
Yeah, then I played the Devastator, and I played the Devastator all yesterday, and I love it. It's fun. You got the gravity leap, you smash on the ground, and you got golem skin, so you can receive more damage. You run up, you shoot, smash things. You gain health by getting kills in close proximity. Pairs great with a good shotgun. I ended up getting a legendary shotgun towards the end after killing a big monster. And that thing's badass. So now I'm doing this like shoulder charge, ground slam. And then I jump up, do another gravity leap, throw some golem skin on, and then start shotgunning whatever beast is in front of me. And Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
I like the Devastator and the Trickster. Just because you're close up and like kind of in the mix the whole time. The Pyromancer, I didn't like the gameplay loop of just having to be far away. It might have been more fun if you're playing with a team, but as a solo player, it just wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, when I played with Watts and Bless, I did not like the Pyro. I was like, this is not for me, man. But then it's very different playing as Devastator, being so upfront and smashing stuff. Like you really do need to try the different play styles to see what you like, because one of them,
which the game makes easy to do.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah, it's hard to know. Well, I guess now in the full game you can actually see what the other abilities do before you unlock them, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, that's good.
Because it was hard in the demo to know what something's going to play like past level 5.
Yeah.
And some of this, it feels like some of these classes start getting good past level 5, whereas some maybe get better earlier.
That's kind of what I was thinking with the Pyromancer. I was like, I bet it was just low level crap that wasn't as good. Like there's the spike ability with the Devastator, which is awesome. This changes things dramatically. You get one of the enemies low, and then you hit them with the spike. They get impaled, and then they create like a warlock healing well type of thing. It gives you armor and health. So you're kind of a filthy warlock at the same time as a Devastator. Crazy, right? It's like a Titan and a warlock being like.
I could see how you'd be attracted to that.
Filthy warlock main reporting for duty.
It makes me want to kind of maybe level up one of the other classes offline, so I can freely switch between them when they're in about the same spot.
Yeah.
Which I might do that. I might do that.
Yeah, it's.
Although, you know what's stopping me? You know the main thing that's stopping me? I got not a legendary. I got a purple chest piece to drop that has bones all over it, and it looks really cool. And cool. I don't want to lose that, but I'm like, I'm gonna have purple everything in like an hour? I don't know.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually really enjoying Outriders. I thought it was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to playing more, but it's not a Destiny killer, and like the need to compare so heavily is so strange in gaming. It's like some of it comes from the is my cool thing being like demoted into not so cool because another cool thing has showed up. It's like, no, it's never been that way.
No, it's not a game as a service. It's going to be a game that you put a solid amount of hours into probably, and then wait for a DLC or something. But yeah, as you play it, I know it doesn't look like Diablo, but it definitely has more of a Diablo audience than like a Destiny or a Division or something. It feels the loot is what drives me in that game because the gunplay isn't like outstanding. It's not bad, but it's not. I'm not playing for the gunplay. The abilities are pretty fun, but I'm playing for the loot. The loot is what gets me really excited and making builds and all of that stuff.
I think the abilities are fun just enough to make it interesting to get the loot, you know? Like they're good enough to make it important to then get the other stuff. Like some of the mods, like it impales 2 enemies when you use the impaler on Devastator instead of 1. And that's like a low tier mod. Like that's a pretty good changer right there. I got this other mod, Fusion Blast for weapons. Got on this one weapon, and I was like, this is really strong. And so then I dismantled it so I had the mod so I could put on another weapon. Got a new like epic weapon later on, and then decided to put that fusion, that level tier 1 fusion mod on there, and it was just destroying things with that. I was like, that's a cool like loop of stuff. There's a ton of mods in the game.
There's a lot. And I love something that I think they did really well is when something drops, you're always interested in it because you want to see what the mod is, because you can just delete it and then keep the mod and put it on whatever you want. Of course, that's going to run out eventually where you have all the mods. Yeah. But yeah, it makes the loot. They throw you into creating builds and getting interesting loot right away.
Yeah. But the game is not designed to be a live service, play forever type of game. It's not designed to be like Destiny. It's designed to have a run, and then maybe some DLC comes out. Like, you're not playing it forever.
So yes, it's a Destiny killer.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. That's what we think about Destiny killers.
You've all been warned.
Friendly awesome dude man says, which non-Guardian Destiny 2 characters / races would you like to see a spin-off game or even a novel about?
Non-Destiny 2 characters? What?
No, non-Guardian Destiny 2 characters. To me, it's the Elixir. They're the most fascinating race. I think they'd be really fun to get either a spin-off game or a novel about them. I think it'd be really cool to see when the Traveler left, like the build up to that, like because they went through the same thing we're going through now. I think that'd be fun to watch.
I'm gonna go Hive. I think Hive are also very interesting. They've got the whole like you could bring in the story of them getting taken, orcs with the Taken King and all of that stuff. You could go into their Hive language and all of that. I think that'd be cool. And maybe a little bit stinky.
Who's our clan person again?
Oh, Hawthorne?
Hawthorne, that's right.
That's true. Her story would be very interesting.
I want a Falcon show with Lewis. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With like a guest appearance by Hawthorne every now and then. But it's Lewis's Falcon show.
Great Adventures.
Great Adventures. Yeah. Yeah.
Because she's not a guardian. She is an interesting character, actually. Like, she's not a guardian. She's just a regular lady with a bird. Yep. So how does she survive? How does she fight? I want to know. That'd be interesting. I want to know more about her.
It'd be fun to see the perspective of regular people, like, who come in contact with guardians too. Like, what do they think of guardians?
They probably think we're monsters.
Yo, Hawthorne and Holiday. Hawthorne and Holiday's Adventures.
Oh my God.
Hawthorne and Holiday.
I want that in the universe.
I want that.
The Gundam Otaku says he's got 2 questions. I'm gonna read them both. Did Crow kill Cade or did Uldren kill Cade?
Uldren.
Or Savathun controlling Uldren?
Savathun.
I think all of them did.
And Crow as well?
I don't care what you call him. He killed Cade.
Huh. I think you're going to be dying on that hill, Briar.
That's all right. I'm willing to be the last person who dies because I didn't trust Crow. On a hill. Is ketchup a jam or a smoothie?
Right. Isn't tomato a fruit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So technically it's a jam, right?
I don't know.
It doesn't
have the consistency. It has more of the consistency of a smoothie than it does jam.
Right. That's true. There's no seeds or stuff.
Yeah,
maybe a smoothie's it's a spread.
It is a spread.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's actually what it is. Not the funny thing of what it is.
Multi Crow's adoptive father says, somewhat new listener. Thank you guys for making the power grind the last few seasons much more bearable. My question is, if you were a canon guardian in the lore, even smaller characters like Redrix being the archetypal Crucible Sweat Gambitier, what would you be known for?
I'm definitely a Gambitier. I'm the one who actually stamps the seals for dredging. You know, I laminate the cards and hand them out.
Cards.
You're the laminator. You run the laminating machine.
Here's your Iron Lord.
I'd be a retired Night Stalker who now works in a smoke shop who uses smoke bombs to run the smoke shop.
Oh,
ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
I'd be a stunt driver for sparrows or a test pilot for sparrows.
Oh, I like it.
Hey Blaze says, who would win in a fight? Your guardian or your outrider? You're in the darkness zone, so your ghost can't revive you.
Right now, my guardian.
That does
clearly
take a lot. Yeah, my guardian's way more powerful than
I feel like my guardian. Yeah, my guardian.
I don't know where my outrider. How powerful is our outrider going to be, though? It's only day 1 outrider.
Yeah, I've only killed a couple giant beasts.
Not year 7.
Gonna take a bit.
Stasis to get nerfed.
Yeah.
Mr. Macalito says, so with Outriders, Monster Hunter Rise, a fun season in Destiny 2, Valheim, and Evil Genius 2 to go spelunking in, what kind of cookie would be your choice of cookie to go along with playing these games? Thanks for all the joy you bring, especially in these trying tidings. What kind of cookie would go with best with all these games? Also, what is Evil Genius 2, and why have I never heard of this game? It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
What kind of cookie can I eat without taking my hands off the controller? That would be the superior cookie. Even if I have to lick it up, bite sized, so I can.
Yeah, I feel like these need to be dawning cookies, dawning treats.
You know what I like is those little packs of cookies that come in those tiny bags, so I can just tip the bag up and get like a couple of cookies in my mouth.
That's pretty
You know
good.
what I'm talking about?
And then keep gaming.
Those are clean
Single
hands
bite.
cookies right there.
Single
true.
bite cookies.
But really, what I want, those are the most convenient. But what I actually want are homemade fucking cookies, like still
Yeah.
hot,
Oh yeah, those are the best.
gooey. Oh man, that's what I want. I don't give a shit what
I
game
need
I'm
a
playing.
wife with my cookie to come feed me cookies.
Yes.
And some milk, some fresh milk.
Cats can bring the milk. Palicos.
Yep.
I want the cookie that teaches my cats how to make food and bring me food. That's the cookie I want.
That'd be a good cookie. I'd buy that cookie.
Yeah, that's a magic cookie right there.
Yeah.
Is this a metaphor for something?
I don't know.
I don't think so. Maybe.
Lord Bira says, "What's your favorite Game Boy game?" Game Boy.
Game Boy. I didn't actually have a Game Boy growing up.
What the
I know.
poor impoverished young man.
I had the consoles. Nintendo, Super Nintendo.
Did you ever have like a Game Boy Color or a Game Boy Advance or?
I did have
DS?
I had a Game Boy SP and DS later on. I played Final Fantasy games on them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The most amount of time I have in a game would be a Pokemon game. Spent a lot of time in Pokemon. Let's probably go with Pokemon. The first one.
Where it all went wrong for Watts.
That's where the story turns south.
I think Bionic Commando. I really like Bionic Commando for Game Boy. It was fun. Paladin X Gamer says, this one's only for Watts. Usually I will not pick out questions that like single people out. Try not to anyway, unless they're funny.
I got picked.
Each member, new and old, of the DCP crew gets a Isekai'd. I'm gonna spell that because I'm not sure I said it right. ISEKIKAID to an anime world. What genre does each member get transported to?
Yeah, this is where you suddenly wake up in a different world. Like you
wake up in another world. Yeah.
Okay.
What world does Briar end up in? Well, Tefty can think of a world too. You don't need to know anime to think of like a genre that Briar would fit in. Clearly, it's some type of horror show, maybe something like Outlast, where people are hunting Briar and want to eat him.
Yeah.
Why?
You die and you go to another world and you wake up as a steak.
You're in the game Overcooked.
I quit.
Right? However, you're an ingredient in the Overcooked game, okay?
And it's a game world where you can't overcook Briar or you lose.
Or else you lose.
Overcook, but you can't overcook it.
They keep saying they want to eat me.
His wife will just go along with it, probably. What is Briar like? Briar likes retro things. You could wake up in a retro game world. That could be fun.
You wake up in the first level of Sonic.
Like Wreck-It Ralph?
No, you wake up in the first level of Sonic.
Okay. I'm into it.
That's it.
I love Sonic.
There's a lot of rings. You get to go collect. What's the name of that?
All right, I like gold. Forest Green Zone.
Yeah,
Green Forest Zone.
1-1 or something like that. Let's see. Sonic first level. Name. Green Hill Zone. You wake up in Green Hill Zone.
Green Hill Zone.
Green Hill Zone.
You are now the mayor of Green Hill Zone. You have to write tickets.
I'd rather be the mayor.
You have to keep on ticketing Sonic for going too damn fast.
You die and you wake up.
If I make the law, there's no speed limit.
You are now
a
demon lord in Green Hill Zone. Now it's canon.
Lord.
Everyone who dies in an isekai wakes up as a demon lord.
Oh, this changes things.
Yeah, it sounds awful.
Wait, hold up. If you were a demon, you wake up as demon lord. Does that mean that the Balrog in Lord of the Rings is someone who what is it called?
Isekai?
That's where Holtzman went.
He was Holtz and then suddenly became the Balrog in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah. We were all lying when we said he went to Hot Topic, actually. Nope.
I think Tefty wakes up in a world where he is a librarian of tutorials, where he has to sort
my
all the
God.
tutorials.
God, why are you
What
just
kind
making
of torture
hell
is
for?
this? Jesus. Just put me in hell and like fire and brimstone or something.
Tefty organizes the tutorials for gamers. So every time you get a game and it will show a scene of a gamer playing through a game and the tutorial comes up and there's like it's all wrong and messed up and Tefty gets brought up by the manager of tutorials and has to redo the
God.
tutorial.
This actually gives me anxiety.
Sounds lovely.
Buttbeard, I'm sorry, Childish Gambito says, who would win, Zavala with a handlebar mustache or Zavala with a mullet? Discuss.
I think mullet.
Handlebar
Zavala with a
mustache.
mullet will whip handlebar mustache's ass. Yeah. Mullet dudes, you got to have a lot of fucking confidence to walk around with a mullet, man.
A handlebar mustache dude would quite literally.
He's gonna put up his
together.
dukes like 1920s style, and then get his ass whipped by Mullet Boy, who's probably packing a mall ninja machete.
I think Mullet Boy takes a swig, breaks the glass, and that's the weapon.
Oh, that's the weapon?
Yeah.
Just smashes 2 beer bottles.
It's like we're going at it. All right, smashes the Jack Daniels bottle that he's drinking straight from, and then is into knifing with that.
Mustache Man has an elastic mustache that grows and is a weapon.
Now you're just getting ridiculous. Now you're just
He's Zavala's a guardian. Why can't he have an elastic?
You stepped over the line.
Take the question
all right,
seriously,
you stepped over the line, Watts. Come on.
It would be great. He's space magic. It makes sense.
Well, then Mullet Man has a extendable mullet.
No, you already picked his weapons. Bottles versus elastic space magic mustache.
All right, they're super sharp. They can cut the mustache.
Yeah. Elastic cut's super easy.
Yeah.
Muttbeard says, if you could voice a new character in an existing video game, who would your character be and what game would they be in?
Wait.
Voice a character in an existing video game, but it's got to be a new character.
Oh, okay.
Can I pick for somebody else?
Yes.
I want Tefty to be the cop that arrests Nathan Drake.
Yep.
All right, I'm picking for Briar. He's gonna be a special recipe of Bunny Dango in Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh God! How are you gonna voice that?
Cool.
Well, you could go.
Yeah.
Tefty, Bunny, Dango.
Yep.
That's what Briar said. That's Briar's line.
What's Watts gonna be? You're
Oh,
obviously.
have you ever seen
Lord.
Silent Hill?
Yes. Have I?
I think you could just slide her into as any character in Silent Hill.
I can't really argue.
Slot her right in. Nobody don't even notice. Wait,
I could be a cannibal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a cannibal character. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Melina with the mask when she takes it off, and you're like, "Woof, Jesus."
Yeah. God damn.
Spooky. I will say, Briar, a lot of people's favorite emotes to put with the new Dango emotes that I have is your face of some variety. So
Yeah, I wonder who could have encouraged that.
your name is Briar Rabbit, and it's called Bunny Dango. I don't know.
Man. That's on point branding.
Nick Niss says, Watts, have you ever tried a twirl? It's the same as a flake, but then covered in chocolate so it isn't as messy.
Yes.
Also, I recommend a Galaxy Ripple. It's the same premise, but much nicer chocolate.
Yeah. That is like premium delicious. You feel like you're sipping on, eating some delicious premium chocolate with Galaxy. Galaxy's great. Galaxy anything is great. Galaxy Ripple is delicious.
What is Galaxy?
You might have to Google it. It's just all very
Is it a brand?
chocolate. Yeah.
Galaxy Twirl?
Galaxy Ripple.
Ripple.
Galaxy Ripple.
Galaxy Ripple chocolate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's delicious.
Oh, it's a chocolate bar.
Like,
It's a
I would
chocolate.
imagine that if you're starting at flake, you only have one direction to go, and that is straight up.
Galaxy is not dry at all. Okay.
A smooth and silky chocolate with a rippled center,
that
suitable for
sounds good.
vegetarians as well.
It's really good.
Oh, it's milk chocolate.
Wait, wouldn't? Oh, okay. Tony says, if you could create something that would change society in the future forever, what would you make? I mean, if I knew the answer to this, Tony, don't you think I'd make it?
Yeah, man.
He says maybe the next internet, the next type of automobile, or just a new type of cooking. God damn it, Tony.
New type of way of cooking fryer? Well, I think we know our answer.
Well, there we go. New cooking methods.
Yeah.
Just leveled up my dongos.
Let's see. Free, infinite, renewable energy, personal,
How
localized
about-
version of it, or new way of cooking briar. Tough.
Yeah, it's a tough call.
How would I just paint 2 yellow lines down the middle of every grocery store aisle? So people like just stay to the right, you know, like they're driving
Maybe.
instead of like stopping in the middle and like parking their cart diagonally.
I have an idea, Briar. What if you made every grocery store aisle a little bit wider and
Okay.
people had to drive little mini cars around the grocery store?
Oh, I like
then
it.
They're already in the mindset of driving on the correct side.
I
Are they
like
in
it.
Ferraris?
What? Perfect. Oh, we can make little red Ferraris for the grocery store.
For Fridays at Albertsons.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Ringo the Dingo says, last show you agreed that Briar and everybody else sounds drunk if you listen to the show at half speed.
Right.
At what speed do you have to listen to the show to make you sound sober?
Normal speed?
Nope.
Maybe you guys.
I feel like if we speed it up, you're going to sound like on drugs.
Like chipmunks.
Yeah, chipmunks are drugged out.
I don't know.
Insane 8511 says, name a time when you heard an insult that you couldn't help be impressed. The best insults are the ones that you get in and the person you're insulting doesn't even realize. It's so clever that the person doesn't even know they're being insulted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like those are the best ones.
I like ones that are not really offensive, but they're like it's a different type of word that people don't use very often to insult someone, and you're like
old fashioned.
wow, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
The ones that
Those are
make you
good,
sit
too.
back and go, that is how I want to insult people for the rest of my life now. I will not do it any other way.
Some Shakespearean insult.
Yes.
Sometimes it's
got
good
big
to
white
just cut
glove
it
energy.
down to the bone and just be like, what's up, stupid? You know, like there's nothing else there. Like you're just stupid. That's all I got for you. All right, Duo Shade's got a mini lightning round for us. Ready?
Okay.
I got about 5 or 6 questions. We're just going to go lightning round on these 5 or 6.
Okay.
Brown rice or white?
Brown.
White.
Brown.
That's just dirty fucking rice.
It's
What?
unbleached.
Doctors say it's bad for you.
What doctors?
I don't know. Doctors.
The doctors that don't like brown rice.
Rabbit doctor?
Yeah. Do it, denim or khaki? Denim.
Denim.
Eggs over or scrambled? Eggs over.
Over.
Eggs over.
Bud Light or Miller Light?
Pass.
Yeah.
CNN or MSNBC? Can I
Also
on this
pass.
one too?
I don't know the difference. I'll be honest.
Foosball or air hockey?
Ooh.
Ghetto hockey.
Air hockey.
Air hockey.
Mr. Goodbite says, what's your favorite joke or prank from the Destinyverse or community? Also, your shoe's untied. Except for Briar. Your croc is broke.
That's got to be just like depressing. Broken.
Yeah, I
croc?
can just tie my laces. Briar has to replace a whole
Replace
shoe.
a whole
What?
croc.
It's true.
Wow,
That
I
croc
find
is
it
like
absolutely
memories.
unbelievable that you could pick on Briar Rabbit like this.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Jesus.
Right? It's harassment.
Only we get to harass Briar. God damn it.
Oh, you know what? I liked when Zavala read the meme that Mech tweeted at him.
That was good.
That
was real good.
That was like 18 plus. If Destiny was 18 plus and Zavala could just curse everybody out.
Yeah.
It was great.
I liked how we used to be able to literally ignite Pope Bear. We'd inflame his emotion by just talking about Taco Bell. Like, he would literally get physically upset if we just talked about Taco Bell.
Yeah.
It's true.
So that makes me think about him physically getting upset whenever we talk about the Trials match where he unloaded 54 bullets.
54 bullets!
54 bullets! He didn't die!
So angry. He was so angry.
Pope Rage was very real.
Pope Rage is hilarious.
Yeah.
Zachary Richard says, "Hey everyone, what is one item that everyone should have in their bathroom besides toilet paper and hand soap? A cup holder in the shower.
Shower beer.
Shower beer.
Gotta have a cup holder.
Yeah, Miller Lite or Bud Light for your shower beer.
You know what? You know what you should do, Briar? You should get a beer tap directly into your shower.
Oh my god! Now that.
Oh my god.
That's some rich person thinking right there. That's smart.
Yeah, that is galaxy brain thinking
Galaxy
right
brain,
there.
yeah.
You don't even need a glass. Just put your mouth to the tap. You're like, why has Briar been in there for like 3 hours?
I should just tap it into the faucet so I can just switch between water and beer.
Oh yeah, you got cold hot beer. Cold hot
Colder hot beer. I used to like those wet wipes, but then we had to call a plumber to come and fish them out of the...
that's bad. Yeah.
Oh, don't put them in the
that's
toilet.
not good.
That's bad.
Don't put them in the toilet.
Nope.
I don't know. Hair dryers are pretty cool.
Yeah. Doesn't
you
come
know.
up for me too often.
You got a beard. You got a dried beard.
Yeah. How do you dry the beer?
Just drip dry.
It's got to be hours.
Towel.
Still, you got a wet beard for like, I don't know. I don't like being wet for so long.
Do you blow dry your beard, Tufty?
A little bit, then I oil it up. You know?
I would like a video of this. Can we get a little
We
blow dry?
We need Tefty's like get ready with me. This is what we need. Tefty, get ready with me.
I
bet there's
too
a lot
much
of
hair.
gold to be mined in a video like that.
I have too much hair on my body. I have to use a blow dryer if I want to be somewhat not.
Where
wet.
else do you use it?
Everywhere, man. So damn much hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll leave that up to my own imagination.
Your imagination, yes. See, do I want to sit wet for a half hour or an hour?
Yeah. In the summertime, I'll stand in front of an air conditioner just to like dry off and cool off. Because sometimes in the summer you get out of a hot shower and you're like, now I'm hot and sweating. So I'll just stand in front of an air conditioner for a bit. Frozzy Wazzy says, what is a ridiculously small task you have to do, but is so outside your normal day-to-day routine that you constantly forget to do it? He gives the example of having a letter to send out, but never having any stamps or like any of the supplies for sending a letter. Do you guys pay bills using like checks and envelopes?
No.
I
wouldn't
do it
have
all online
any
now.
electricity. It would be gone every month. God damn it. Again.
Yeah. I mean, that was a lifesaver for me. Is switching everything over to auto pay because I have been terrible at paying bills my entire life. I just forget to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, one time I forgot to pay, I forgot about PG&E. And they're like,
yeah,
about the $500 you owe us. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's been
do you
6
like having
months.
power? Because you don't now.
No, it was gas. Like the power is different.
okay.
So they were,
Oh, that's even worse.
I know, right? For a gas bill. Yeah.
I don't know. Like anytime I do have the thing where if I have to go to a doctor or I have to make an appointment or I have to do something, I hate it. It feels like such a massive task just to call and make an appointment.
You know what, Watts? I think phone calls are getting to be up there for that. Like just calling somebody on the phone. Like if I have to call a restaurant and make an order as opposed to just go to their website and order it that way. Like I'd much prefer to order online than the call.
On top of that, the online order is probably way more accurate than calling over the phone and let them know.
Like I haven't gotten an accurate order from a restaurant in approximately 17 years. So
you need to stop going to that same place that you keep going.
They're all the same. They're all the same. I never get what I order. Ever.
It's pretty rare actually for me.
I order a lot of stuff because I have a big family.
Okay.
So it's like, like we get a cheeseburger and onion rings for one kid, but the cheeseburger can only have, we want bacon, cheese, no onions, no lettuce, no mustard, right? And then for the next one, it's like, so everything's like
next one wants a slice of briar, bacon.
This is assault. Last question of the night. Thank God.
Oh wow, Brian! You
79.
want to get away from us?
I am fearful for my life. If there was a TV, this is from Hugo. If there was a TV quiz show with 4 contestants where first prize was $10 million, but if you came in last, you were cast into the mouth of an active volcano, would you do it? Also, second prize is a holiday in Portugal, and third prize is a $10 gift certificate.
Wow, it's quite a leap.
Well, it's 4 people, you said? So you just can't come dead last.
Yeah.
Last person gets
$10 million
into a volcano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of confidence that I'll win. So, and I don't think it's worth risking my life for the second and third place prizes. So, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting a very Hunger Games vibe from this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say no.
Check it out. Check it out.
I don't. Yeah.
I think the 4 contestants, if you're one of them, should join forces together and all come to a complete draw and then split the 10 million evenly.
There you go. Easy.
2.5 million plus a trip to Portugal and a $10 gift certificate. Yeah. And we'll throw the
2.5 million
host
250.
We'll throw Alex Trebek into the volcano.
Oh, that's a way better idea.
See you later, Pat Sajak. Bum.
I like that idea better.
There it is.
And that's what we think about intrinsic perks on trials and Nightfall weapons.
Right.
The palindrome, Adept, Grandmaster.
You're welcome.
There
also,
it is.
the Nightfall this week's kind of tough, by the way. Yeah. In GM, mostly. Pretty tough.
Yeah, people are saying it's pretty tough. Yeah.
Pretty tough.
I have not done it.
Say.
Pretty tough.
Pretty tough.
Pretty tough. People say.
Damn.
People say.
People say that who've played Destiny at some point this week. It's pretty tough.
Well, that's episode number 232 of the Destiny Community Podcast.
The GM. All right, that's basically like me doing it. I was there.
Absolutely.
I was around. I was in Discord.
Shout out to our Patreon members for supporting the shows and our Twitch subs. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you for being awesome and dealing with us.
Yeah, thanks for dealing.
It must be like being parents. I wonder if all of the podcast listeners feel like they're our parents and we're just uncontrollable children that they're trying to handle.
Exactly. Next week, side quest is going to be a juicy one because we're going to be talking more Monster Hunter and Outriders, our experience, all that stuff. Briar, you been playing it? Outriders, no. All right.
If I'm gonna, I might not.
Pass? All right.
I'm not enthusiastic about it either way.
Okay, that's fair.
You can just stick with your normal anime game, which is Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
It's the Briar way.
Yeah.
It's the Briar way.
Yeah.
Speaking of Briar, where can people find you doing your thing?
You can find me on Twitter at @TheBriarRabbit. I've been doing a lot of stupid stuff with arcade sticks lately. That's been a lot of fun. So I've been posting pictures up on there and doing stuff like that.
Nice. And Watts?
I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just look for Miss 5000 Watts. And we're currently playing Outriders and Monster Hunter at the same time.
And I'm Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. And I am also playing Monster Hunter Rise and Outriders. I do plan on doing some streams of that. Looking forward to playing more. And I also have a music channel as well that I've been posting to, both me and memes. Someone actually had found it and said, "Hey, aren't you that guy on the Destiny podcast?"
That's
I
amazing.
that was pretty funny. So, yeah.
That's
You know what
great.
you guys should do is put up a cover of "Put Up Your Dukes."
That is what we need.
That's funny, Brian.
Let me give a quick backstory to this, please, before we end the show.
Yes.
Defty and Beans did the music. Is that right? You did all the music, or you did
all the music?
You did at least the theme song.
All the music.
You wrote and produced the music for a movie called "Put Up the Dukes," which came out about 10 years ago. You can't watch it anymore because I guess it's got some kind of distribution issue. What's that? It's porn. But it's about Frank Dukes, who Bloodsport was based off of. And it's got a song in the end credits called "Put Up Your Dukes" that sounds like it was ripped straight out of Bloodsport, the movie. And it's a goddamn shame that you can't watch this movie or see this song or listen to this song. I'm sorry that I even introduced it, because now it's a big tease.
People can't even find it right now. Briar had to go through a backdoor alley on the internet to watch it.
Was it like a French version or something? And then
there's found? Like the first 10 minutes of the French version, I think, on YouTube. But
it's an actual documentary, legit documentary about Frank Dukes, who's the guy. Yeah, who was based in Bloodsport.
And then a legit awesome song called "Put Up Your Dukes" with some fucking crazy ass heavy metal air band. I don't even know what's going on. 80s.
We need that. We need that. We need that to be.
I will have to look up the original master on that, because I actually have no idea where that is right now.
If we ever get a DCP theme song, I want it to be done in the style of "Put Up Your Dukes" style.
Yeah. Awesome. And on that note, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.